What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first week of the final block of the Total Specialist. Now, we had a bit of a surprise today. Game Day Barbell recently moved locations, and we're having a soft opening. So despite not all the equipment set up, we decided to go down there because, we had nothing better to do that day, as well as we figured, hey, there's not going to be that many people there. And luckily, we got there before everybody arrived. So this will be my first time lifting on kilos in a long time, especially this heavy. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so we started off this workout with some bench. First single leading up to the test, and I decided that I was going to load 341. Now, originally I wasn't planning on going this heavy because last block I had hit something similar to this after the triple, and I was really disappointed with how that turned out. Plus, I had to self on rack. But I figured, hey, this is a single at 7. And if I really want to hit the weight I want to hit at the end, I'm going to have to bench it. And it was pretty good, I will say. Was it a 7? Debatable. It could have been a little bit on the overshoot side, but I would say not that much of an overshoot. More so like maybe 7.5, 8 at worst. And we had a back down double at 6.5 with 320. And that went okay as well. I would say that was also leading towards the overshoot. But again, it wasn't like it was unmanageable. It's just, was it a 6.5? I'm not too sure. And we're in this final block. I really want to make sure not to overshoot. That'll be a theme moving forward for me, because I'd rather do less than do too much because of the recovery aspect. And I really want to hit some numbers, all right? The bench, I'm okay, but it's the other two lifts that I really want to make sure that I'm hitting the numbers that I want to hit. But, honestly, if I'm being completely real, I want to hit a huge bench. I mean, who doesn't, right? So we had a back down 4x4 with 295. These were fatigue drops, but for me, I didn't really feel like any of them were a 7 until maybe the very end. So we had 297 technically on the bar here. And I think in the final set, like I mentioned, was the only one where I felt maybe we're eclipsing that RPE. But it kind of hit me like in a weird way. Maybe that's just because I'm on kilos. But honestly, I'll be real with you guys, I didn't really notice a difference. But people say that you'll really notice on squats, mostly, when it comes to kilos. So we had plate-loaded incline press. The dumbbell section was still being set up, so didn't have access to that because they were building stuff over there, as well as the crossover. So I had to make some substitutions, and I have not done one of these hammer strength incline press machines, which I find personally very, very nice, much superior to the ones at my own gym, especially because they converge in a way that is pleasurable, and the starting position is much more comfortable. Whereas the one on my gym, it's just not. Like, I don't really like that machine. So we had 100 pounds for 3 sets of 8 and an AMRAP. But the AMRAP, I only got 5 reps. And then I got, randomly, stuck. And I really couldn't move. So, yeah. It's all right. It's a new machine. So I'm not going to revisit this machine. This is just for fun. Now this, I'm jealous of. This is a chest-supported T-bar row. And God, I love it so much, man. I really wish that my gym had one of these because this is so much better than the plate-loaded handle machine that we have at my gym. And I like it more than a seal row. If I had this machine at my gym, this would be my primary back row variation. I would do all kinds of things, all kinds of grips, widths, etc. It was awesome. I really, really love it. Was jealous. We did 90 pounds for the top set, and then we did 3 sets of 10 with 80 on the back downs, and it was really, really nice. So the cable crossover machine was being built, and that included the lat pull down attachments. So I kind of had to sub, and I went with this Machine Hyro. It was okay. I obviously, this is more of a trap exercise than a lat exercise, but as you guys know, I switched my pull down variation to one that is more focused on the traps with a narrow neutral versus a wider, more pronated, which would be more lat. So it's all right. It's not exactly an ideal situation. This isn't 1-to-1, but we made do with what I had. Those were 100 pounds for 4 sets of 9. And then we had our try set. So again, the dumbbell area was taken, and the cable area was all under construction. So I had to make some modifications here. We had a lateral raise machine, which I actually really like the lateral raise machine. I really wish we had one. I feel like it's good for overloading purposes. And then we superset that with this preacher curl machine. Obviously, you guys know I've been doing single arm preacher curls. So doing dual arm preacher curls was weird, and I don't like it, even though this machine is okay. I used to do this all back then when I first started lifting with the preacher curl machine. And then we had this machine extension. This machine, I can't tell if it's the strength curve, the way it's supposed to be set up, or if they really need to WD-40 this thing, but like the resistance was very like... It was constant in a way that I didn't like. It was like, there was like resistance with the cable, like, again, like I said, needing some WD-40 kind of being jammed or stuck. And then we're at the end of the workout, a bunch of people started showing up, so I actually had to do the tri-set out of order because I was working in with a guy doing lateral raises, and I was ready to leave because we had been there for a very long time, chatting up people and such. So I ended up doing the curls first, then the extensions, and then finally when the person who was using the lateral raise machine was done, I did laterals last. And that was 50 pounds for laterals, 40 pounds for the curls, and 55 pounds for the extension for 10, 9, 9, respectively. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. I love Game Day Barbell. I just wish that I lived closer, because even with the location being maybe slightly closer to where I live, it's still about a 45-minute commute, and as much as I love this gym, I can't justify that. So this might be the only Game Day Barbell footage we see, but I'm glad I got to go.